Hey, Flash here with Flashy Dark Arts. What do these two weapons have in common? Give up? They've both been banned for our safety. Ah! So, after 44 years of it being illegal to own nunchucks in New York, a New York judge finally ruled the ban unconstitutional. In 1974, lawmakers thought that gang members inspired by Kung Fu theater would be running amok in the streets of New York with nunchucks. You can't make this shit up. A New York man, James Maloney, was arrested back in 2000 for having nunchucks in his own house. He was arrested for it, okay? Now, after an 18-year legal battle, by the way, James Maloney is a martial arts enthusiast and a lawyer, and after an 18-year legal battle, he finally got New York to pull its head halfway out of its own ass and lift the 44-year-old ban on nunchucks. Now, this really pisses me off because I trained in martial arts for years, okay? I taught for like 12 of them, okay? And nunchucks are fun, they're cool, but they're not an effective weapon. However, I was able to find one gang member that does use nunchucks to strike fear in the heart of rival gang members. Just introduce myself. What's up, everybody? It's G, Triple OG. They call me Little Flash. I've been banging since I was like 12. What do you want me to say, man? Just keep it real on the streets, you know, that's what I do. Weapon of choice? Weapon of choice, definitely nunchucku. Nunchucku all the way. I got a lot of friends that, you know, they don't use it because of the ban, you know, because there was a ban, so they didn't train it and stuff. They didn't jump on the bandwagon when it was in, you know, so they kill people with other stuff. I don't know, like baseball bats, knives, guns, railroad ties, Molotov cocktails, you know, hockey sticks, whatever they can get a hold of, you know. I have one guy that stabs a dude with an ice pick, but my weapon of choice is definitely the nunchucks. Definitely nunchucku. Okay, the really funny part about this is that nunchucks were never intended to be a weapon. Okay, they were originally a farming tool. Now, nobody really knows how they became a weapon, but one of my favorite stories is that a bunch of peasants ruled by a tyrant who did not let them have weapons turned farming tools into weapons, which is funny because this does happen. People will find ways to kill each other. This reminds me of another story I've heard recently. Boulder, Colorado, following Deerfield, Illinois' shitty example, unanimously votes to ban assault weapons and then tries to enforce it. Ha! Now the owner of any semi-automatic rifle that was not registered, turned into law enforcement, or moved outside of city limits by December 31st will be fined $1,000, spend 90 days in jail, and have their property stolen to be destroyed. Sure as hell doesn't sound fair to me. You guys ready for the best part? In a town with a population of 107,000 people, only 342 people have shown compliance. These are Democrats, but they're gun-toting Democrats. I know, I didn't think they existed either, but it turns out we have found Bigfoot, and they are freaking awesome. Little bans like these are actually really good because it shows lawmakers that they can write 100 laws into effect, but nobody's gonna enforce them because it's unconstitutional. I actually did some really complicated math on this, which is a little bit beyond me. So, gun owners represent about 40% of the country, okay? Out of that 40%, 75% of them are like me. They're not gonna hand over their guns no matter what. So if I have 12 guns and you ban 2 of them, how many guns do I have? 12! That means very few guns are gonna get turned in. Isn't math fun, kids? Welcome to the real world, pin hippies. Words and rainbows don't stop gun violence. In fact, you might influence gun violence. You might skyrocket it because if law enforcement tries to take guns from people in Colorado, you're gonna have a bloodbath on your hand. That was a really dumb idea. And hopefully law enforcement is smart enough not to do it, okay? Because it is an unconstitutional order. You know what stops dumb lawmakers from making dumb decisions? Lawsuits. Now, lawsuits have begun, but how long is it gonna take? 44 years? Nobody got time for that crap. Nobody got the money for that crap. That's ridiculous. There's nothing funny about that. So, Colorado has now joined California, Washington, Illinois, New York, Maryland, and Hawaii, and many other states in stripping American citizens of their constitutional rights and stealing their property. We will not comply is a pretty good slogan, but I remember a better one.
From my cold, dead hands.
Thank you, Charlton Heston. This is Flash with Flashy Dark Arts, reminding you that the pen is mightier than the sword, but only because the people with the pen are protected by the swordsman. See you next week.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars